Yo, pana, from de la grasa, nigga.
Feel like the one, feeling is stuck. This ain't no whack, that's dime in the cup. Light on my shoulders, I'm getting the rough. Money don't fold up, I feel like Pac in the tub. Showered in gold chains, knots on me. They got the slices, I stay with the block of cheese. Broccoli pressure, boy cost me 43. Hey, I stay in my lane, don't fuck with no one. Fuck with no one. Whoa. If you mad, hold your horses, I'm still going up. You cannot stop it, just sit back and watch it. I pull up in different whips, yeah, I got options. Don't play with that sneak dissing, boy, you childish. This ain't me a person that wanna talk about it. I feel like I'm, who you feel like? I feel like I'm packing the tub with the chains on. Whole lot of gold. They want me to turn it down, I gotta stay on and never go out. We ain't dimming the lights, no.
I'm like Pac in the
Like
tub.
12 o'clock. Everybody eating over here, having more than one pipe. Only the team get to play. Only the team get to stay. Silver spoon where they were with me. Dogs aggressive like they never ate. I was too quiet on the other side. But I know they ain't plotting. Fuck with me, you die. No, I ain't playing. Telling me what.
Yo, what's going on, y'all? This is Marcus Rosa, aka Mazuma TV, back at y'all with another live, man. I hope everybody's having a blessed, beautiful, positive, productive night. I hope y'all having a great weekend as well, man. I hope you and your family are doing well. Everybody's healthy, all that good stuff, man. Blessings be on to y'all. You feel what I'm saying? We got some things that we currently need to discuss going on in the boxing world, man. We're going to continue stomping on Brian Norman Jr. and his pops because they on some duck sauce shit as of right now. And we just going to hold these motherfuckers accountable for the fuck shit that they do, man. Disappointing the boxing fans. Tell them niggas to go back to the promised land, man.
You got to come down to the promised land, man. 235 acres. We farming our own chickens, homie. Thousands of chickens, thousands. Running around everywhere, quack, quack, quack. Talk about next level shit, homie.
So that's what the fuck it is, man. Shout out to my boy Rose for, keeping the chickens safe on his 235 acres. You feel what I'm saying? So we definitely gonna get into that. Who would Boot's next opponent be? Because it's definitely not gonna be Brian Norman in this situation. And I'm gonna open up the platform to speak about what's currently going on in the sport of boxing. You feel what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody that's in the building as of right now, man. Orlando Finney, Ty Austin. Ty Austin says, my new favorite channel, my guy Marcus, you a beast at this shit. Alhamdulillah. I think I said that. You know what I mean? I hope I said that right. But my name is spelled with a K, but regardless, man, I appreciate you for, taking the time to be invested in the channel, man. Thank you very much. Hit that like button as soon as you come in, like my boy Orlando Finney said. Boxing Film, what up? Glizzy, what up? Coffee Plant, what up? What up? Oscar De La Pase is in the building, man. What's going on, y'all? Like I said, we got some things that we need to discuss, man. And Bozy Ennis has finally spoke about the whole situation, man. Boo's been talking, Brian Norman Jr. been talking, Brian Norman Sr. been talking, and a lot of people have been asking, when is Bozy going to say something? I had people asking me that last night. When is Bozy going to say something? Bozy finally came out with an interview, man, and he ain't hold his tongue, man. Shout out to the OG, you know what I'm saying, for coming out and expressing his truth. You know what I mean? It's just pretty much validating everything that I had thought initially, man. If you did not see the live last night, man, you got to go check out that live, man. Classic live, man. Very informational, along with a little bit of comedy, entertainment. And, just educating people on the sport of boxing and exactly what's going on, man. I try to be understanding of the Norman situation, but I told you guys, man, I tried to tell you guys that there was some duck sauce in the motherfucking air, and I knew that they was about to bust a move that was detrimental to the sport of boxing. What I mean is boxing fans were, let down once again. You know what I mean? We get our hopes up. You feel what I mean? We feel like there's going to be a good fight on the way or a meaningful fight on the way. You know what I mean? They get to talking. They making it seem like they with the shits, and then they just end up going in a different direction. You know what I mean? Just bursting our bubble. You feel what I'm saying? Boxing fans bubble. But, at this point, it's like I'm jaded to this shit. You know what I mean? I'm not surprised at all. And, I got a portion of my live where I told you exactly what Brian Norman was going to do. You see what I mean? But except it's worse. It's worse. You know what I'm saying? But let me go ahead and pull up that part of the live that I said last night, because I had made a little prediction on exactly what Brian Norman was going to do, and that was not fight Jaron Ennis. You see what I'm saying? I told you guys exactly that. I said he wasn't going to fight Jaron Ennis. He was going to end up taking another fight for significantly less money. You feel what I'm saying? But I was under the impression that he was going to get the Teofimo Lopez fight next. You know what I'm saying? I was thinking that Teofimo Lopez was going to, petition the WBO. They was going to grant him that opportunity to move up and be Brian Norman's, mandatory challenger and shit like that. But, it turns out to be worse because according to my man, Michael Benson, shout out to my boy, Michael Benson, man. Shout out to my boy, Michael Benson, for keeping me informed of what's going on in the boxing world. You feel what I mean? Let me share the screen right here for you guys to see. I am not making this up. This is stuff that you can find doing your own research, but I'll pull it up anyway. This is Michael Benson. He comes out and said, Brian Norman Jr. will now defend his WBO welterweight world title versus Derek. How the way it looks like it's pronounced Derek Cuevas on Keyshawn Davis's undercard on November 8th after negotiations with Jaron Bozy Ennis collapsed. You see what I mean? So a lot of people are confused by this. Why would he fight? Why is he fighting him? And then I even seeing people blaming Jaron Ennis. I'm seeing about as much some seriously foolish shit. You know what I'm saying? Very foolish shit that people coming out and talking about right now. We just gonna keep it 1,000, man. I'm gonna give you guys my opinion on this whole situation and what I perceive to be going on. But before I get into that, let me tell y'all what I said on live last night. Just a little quick clip. You know what I'm saying? On exactly what I thought was gonna happen. And I was spot on. I just had the opponent wrong. And it turned out to be worse than what the fuck I predicted it to be. You know what I'm saying? I gave him the benefit of the doubt and said it was gonna be Teofimo Lopez. Turns out it's not. It's not. You feel what I'm saying? So let's hear it. Let's hear exactly what I said last night. This is me on live last night. Check out what I said. Let's hear it. Let's hear exactly this person. I don't know what the fuck Boo's about to do, but regardless, what I'm gonna tell you is this. What's gonna happen if they continue to move like this is that they're gonna walk away from the negotiations. Boo's gonna go fight somebody else. He fuck around and go chase Karen around the ring all over again, give us a boring ass rematch or whatever the case is. And he gonna go fight Teofimo Lopez. You know what I'm saying? Teofimo Lopez gonna find his opportunity. He gonna jump up. He gonna take that fight. You know what I'm saying? And Brian Norman gonna be fighting for maybe 5 times the amount that he made in his last fight. Maybe he'll get $500,000 this time. You know what I'm saying? Just to have Teofimo Lopez make more money than you, because I think his minimum at Top Rank is $2 million. And you're not getting $2 million because you're not as popular as Teofimo Lopez. You're not as big of a star as Teofimo Lopez. So you're going to walk away from 1.6 just to run into a $500,000 payday. Congratulations to Brian Norman. Congratulations to Brian Norman Sr. You know what I'm saying? And I think the promised land is in Atlanta too. Don't get it fucked up. I think Rick Ross live in Atlanta. Hold on. Where the promised land at? So y'all see what I'm saying, right? Y'all see what I'm saying, right? I told you guys exactly what was going to happen. You know what I'm saying? I knew that there was going to be a point where this man walks away from the negotiations with Jaron Ennis and take a lesser opponent. You know what I'm saying? Not stick around and hope that they come out with an offer. You know what I mean? Because Jaron Ennis and them didn't move on from the situation. They was genuinely trying to work this shit out or try to get this fight going on. You know what I mean? Jaron Ennis dropped another interview with YSN Sports Media, and Jaron Ennis said, yo, man, like, let's cut out all the social media games, man. Let's really make this fight happen. You know, I'm behind the scenes trying to make this shit work, bro. Let's get it popping. You feel what I mean? He about his business. He not about to be going back and forth with you niggas on social media. Jaron Ennis has not went on a live yet and talk shit about y'all. He hasn't went on a blog site or a YouTube channel and talk shit yet. You know what I'm saying? Like, he behind the scenes trying to be about that action. You know what I'm saying? So he wasn't going to walk away from the negotiations. He really want to make this fight happen. What did y'all do? Y'all priced yourselves out. Y'all asked for an amount of money that you guys in reality aren't even worth. You were making nowhere near that. And they was boosting up. They was increasing each time they came back with a different counter offer. Y'all felt like $1.5, $1.6 million wasn't enough. So y'all went on to fight a nigga by the name of Derek Cuevas, somebody I've never even heard of before. I don't know if the man is in the WBO rankings. I'm about to check that right now, in all honesty. But this is definitely hands down. This is a step down. You went from possibly unifying in the division for 1.6 million dollars to possibly fighting Darius Cuevas for between $250,000 to $500,000. You feel what I mean? You shot yourself in the foot. You feel what I mean? Yeah, exactly. Boxer film who? I don't know who he is. I had looked up his box rec. I seen he was from Puerto Rico, whatever the situation was, Puerto Rican fighter. But regardless if we the same ethnicity or not, I have no idea who the fuck this man is. An absolute nobody. And the fact that they were able to get this fight done, it's like, this is something that was done, this shit was already figured out before it even came out to the public. That's who they was gonna fight regardless. So you mean to tell me that they was strictly locked in on fighting Jaron Ennis? Brian Norman Sr. told Bozy, we gonna see you November 9th or November 2nd, whenever the fuck they fight was, May 4th. We gonna see you on that fight day. We gonna make this fight happen. We want this fight. And then within 24 hours of speaking about the negotiations with the fight and trying to make this fight happen, y'all got a whole new opponent. So you mean to tell me that they just locked in an opponent right away within fucking 12 to 24 hours and then just said, fuck Boots? No, they've been working on that. That was their opponent the entire time. And that leads me to believe that they was using Jaron and his name just to get their name cooking up in the boxing world and then walk away with the publicity. You know what I'm saying? So you went from headlining the Wells Fargo Arena for $1.6 million to being on Keyshawn Davis's undercard in Virginia against a nobody for significantly less money. Who is the smart man in this situation? What the fuck? Like, what is y'all talking about? What is you talking about? Matchroom is a foreign company worth over $1 billion. They need to pay that. They need to pay Norman. They tried. What the fuck? If your last payday is $100,000, you can't be mad at them for offering you 1.6. You haven't even defended your title yet. You haven't even defended your title yet. And you getting $1.6 million off of the rip. Headlining at the Wells Fargo. The fuck? That is paying that man. That's paying him more than what this promoters was giving him. Why are you not telling Top Rank to pay that man? Top Rank gave him $100,000 to fight for an interim belt. He didn't even earn the WBO title. He hasn't even defended the belt. So on some real shit, can you really call yourself a champion if you never defended your titles? He was never in a position to defend his titles. He finally gets the opportunity to do that in a unification fight. Big fight, big significant fight in the welterweight division. Puts him in position to possibly get 2 belts, because anything can happen in boxing. Anything can happen in boxing. He could shock the world. He could come out with 2 belts at 23 years old against the boogeyman of the division, Jaron Ennis. There's no way you can't. There's no way you could say it's Eddie Hearn's fault. There's no way you could say that it's Matchroom's fault. They were more than generous with their fight offers. Like I said, it wasn't just a one and done type deal where it's like, we giving you this much, and if you don't take it, then we gonna move on. No, they tried 3 times to try to lock in a fight, and gave them significantly more money each time they came with a different offer. To the point where they offered half of what Boots made in his last fight, 1.5, 1.6 million. So because their company is evaluated at $1 billion, how much do you want Brian Norman to get paid? Get the fuck out of here, man. Like it's like if motherfuckers want to get paid, if niggas want to get a bag, that's cool. But at the same time, it's like they're not going to jump out the fucking window and give this nigga like significant amount of money that they're not in the business to lose money. So what they gonna get Brian Norman $3 million and then give Boots $4 million when they probably not even gonna recoup that $7 million that they trying to get back? Come on, dog. Like, y'all niggas gotta be realistic with the shit, man. Brian Norman is a nobody, bro. He couldn't sell out his hometown. And y'all want him to get stupid amounts of bread? He's already getting a crazy ass payday that he probably don't even deserve for real. But anyway, I forgot what the fuck I was even talking about, man. No, like I was saying, you went from headlining the Wells Fargo Arena in Philadelphia against Jaron Ennis for unification and $1.6 million to I'm assuming you probably gonna get between $250,000 to $500,000 to fight Darius Cuevas on Keyshawn Davis's undercard. So you're a champion, right? And you talk about how Boost isn't on, they on the same level. They both bring the same things to the table, blah, blah, blah. But one thing I do know, Jaron Ennis will never be on Keyshawn Davis's undercard. Will never be on Keyshawn Davis's undercard. He's a bigger star than Keyshawn Davis. You, on the other hand, you are a full-fledged world champion. You are something that Keyshawn Davis is not. Keyshawn Davis is merely a contender at this point. Meanwhile, he is headlining over you on a top-ranked card. No black man is a nobody. Okay, you taking it literal and you being real technical right now. So I'm starting to believe that you some type of asshole, because what I'm telling you about nobody is that he's not a star. Of course, technically, if we talking from a technical aspect, he's not a nobody. You right. You feel what I'm saying? They don't want to pay black men. Okay, $1.6 million is not paying a black man. Okay. You see what I'm saying? And niggas want to pull out the race card and all that shit. This is what I'm talking about. Technically, yes, he's not a nobody. But what I'm saying is, in terms of popularity in comparison to Boost, star power in comparison to Boost, there are levels apart. That's what I'm trying to get across. But you over here nitpicking shit, trying to find an angle to try to debate with me, and you just looking stupid at the end of the day. The reality of the situation is they tried to pay the man. They walked away and they went to go get significantly less on somebody's undercard. Whose fault is that? Whose fault is that? Has Norman ever even headlined? I don't know. I think he might have headlined that Santillan fight. I don't know if that was a headline though. I could check. I don't know if they headlined that event. Let me take a look. They wasn't even the headline of that card. That was Navarrete and Baranchek's fight. That was their card. So no, I don't believe Brian Norman has ever main evented. He said we gotta lift our fighters, good brother. You listen, I do that every opportunity I can, and I try to remain as objective as possible. But when I have these facts in front of me that's telling me that this person don't want to fight, I'm gonna call a spade a spade. Now you can look at that as me devaluing somebody or putting somebody down, but at the end of the day, this boxing channel is from a fan's perspective, right? So as a boxing fan, we want to see the best fights happen, and when we see fighters not really trying to go in that direction to satisfy boxing fans, I hold them accountable, and they deserve criticism, whether it's negative or not. They need to be criticized for that because they're going against what we want in the sport of boxing. You feel what I mean? We called for this fight. They act like they was optimistic about making the fight happen. They gave Eddie Hearn, Matchroom, Jaron Ennis a run around with negotiations. They were more than fair with the negotiations. You feel what I'm saying? And they knew that they was more than fair with the negotiations. You know, and the reason why I know the money wasn't the problem was because they said they would take that same amount if it were at a different location. So these guys were completely discouraged at fighting in Boost's hometown. But why the hell would Boost stay away from fighting in his hometown when he just sold 14,000 tickets in his arena debut? They want to keep digging into that, man. They want to make the shit. Boost ain't going to sell 14,000 tickets anywhere else other than Philly. So, of course, they're going to keep his ass here. They're going to keep generating that motherfucking money. And they're going to make sure that he a hometown favorite. They're going to try to see if they can get 16,000 this time. And if they bring him back, is it a duck if it's a low ball offer? Is $1.6 million when you made $100,000 in your last fight a low ball offer? That's 16 times more than what you made in your last fight. How was that a low ball offer? Now, if Brian Norman was making $3 million a fight, $4 million, $5 million a fight, and then they offer him 1.6, all right, y'all making a point. All right, that's a low ball offer. But how can you necessarily say that that's a low ball offer when this nigga didn't even come home with 6 figures in his last fight? He got $100,000. So he probably came home with $40,000 after that. With taxes and paying his corner and managers, advisors, promoters get a percentage as well. He probably came home with $30,000 to $40,000. So you mean to tell me that that's a low ball offer? 1.6 million is a low ball offer when your last bout was for $100,000. Y'all gotta try that shit with somebody else, man. That shit not adding up. That shit not adding up. And listen, I don't even want to be the motherfucker that defend Eddie Hearn. I never fucked with Eddie Hearn. Like I said, I'm not the biggest fan of a majority of these promoters. However, I'm seeing that this man is putting in the effort to make this fight happen. He's being more than fair with negotiations, and they backed out of the block. And it just let me know what really confirmed that they really did not want to fight Jaron Ennis, and what makes me feel like they were just using the Jaron Ennis drama to add some publicity to their name is how fast they agreed to another bout and made another bout happen. It's like this, right? Let's say you're dealing with a chick, right? You're dealing with a chick and y'all break up. And you check on Instagram, fucking couple days after y'all break up, she holding hands with another nigga. What the fuck is going through y'all head? Oh, she must have been fucking with him. How you commit to a nigga 2 days after we broke up? I mean, she been fucking him, right? So I'm saying that because if he making a fight that quick after you supposedly in negotiations and strictly fighting Jaron Ennis, it let me know that bull Darius Cuevas or whatever his name was already on standby, ready to go. Their intentions wasn't really to fight Jaron Ennis. Straight like that. Straight like that. And y'all can't tell me that ain't a good analogy. That's exactly what it is. Let me put that motherfucking LED light up so y'all niggas could see me. No, it's real shit though. Like, they already had that shit set up behind the scenes, but we gonna keep this drama going with Boots, and you know what I'm saying, so we could keep our name popping, and then boom, when we get another fight, everybody gonna crowd around Brian Norman like, so what happened with the Jaron Ennis fight? And everybody gonna be surrounding Brian Norman, and all the topic gonna be about Brian Norman and Jaron Ennis, and he gets clout off of Jaron Ennis at the end of the day just because he had that exchange going back and forth with him. You know what I'm saying? He never intended on fighting Jaron Ennis. As soon as I heard that it was already red flags when I heard, that we sent the counter offer, and then when we sent the counter offer, I'm like, bro, what the fuck? What is going on? What the fuck is going on? You feel what I mean? But you see, there's people on here that, they don't ever want to give Boots his credit for what he's doing or what he's trying to accomplish in the division. Jaron Ennis got a lot of haters. You feel what I mean? And it's crazy because this man gives you everything that you want in the boxing ring. There's nothing that he can't do in there. He's a humble dude. He's not an arrogant motherfucker. And he just want to be great and give y'all the best fights. But for some reason, y'all find a way to hate this nigga. It's crazy. It's crazy. Coffee Plant said, just shut up and rumble. Jaron Ennis. Yeah, that's a quote from Jaron Ennis. And that's exactly what he been doing. Boo's been shutting the fuck up. He been working, trying to make the best fights happen. But somehow, some way, $1.6 million is a low ball offer. That's crazy. Man, I don't give a fuck about what Southpaw talking about. He don't know boxing. That nigga is TMZ for boxing. That nigga sell drama. He don't know what he talking about. He can never debate with me about this boxing shit. That shit will be a slaughter. He cannot talk that with me. He cannot talk about fighting with me. He cannot talk about boxing. He can't talk about boxing with me. He can't talk about the business of boxing with me. He can't beat me in no debates. He cannot beat me in a fight. I could give a fuck about what Southpaw talking about. Straight like that. He could spin that shit however the fuck he want. Niggas, when niggas typically got to spin shit, is to try to hide something. We don't got to spin shit over here. We go off of the facts, and then we formulate opinions based off of the facts. You feel me? We don't got to spin nothing to fit any type of narrative. You know what I'm saying? We go based off of what is presented in front of us, and that's what keep us authentic. That's what keep us real at the end of the day. You feel me? So it is what it is. Yeah, Southpaw will get. I already know the type of dude he is. When he start getting cooked in a debate, then he start taking like personal digs at people. That's what niggas do when what's that shit J. Cole said? A dumb nigga hate a smart mouth most likely. That's exactly what it is, bro. When niggas started get, cooked from an intellectual standpoint, you know what I mean? They get emotional, they can't handle it, and they start tapping into their feminine energy, their baby mama energy. And that's not what niggas do over here. You know what I'm saying? If I don't have enough, if I don't have enough points to back a certain stance, I'm not even about to get in a debate with you because that's going to be a bad John. You feel what I'm saying? I'm not going to support an argument that don't got no facts behind it. No, it ain't nothing personal at all. I'm just saying. No, it ain't nothing bro. I don't got no problem with Southpaw. I just call it like it is. You know what I'm saying? There ain't no problem. Ain't no problem. We can always have a conversation. You feel me? But it ain't nothing personal. I'm just keeping it 1,000 because he definitely not my friend. So I'm about to sit here and act like he. You feel what I'm saying? But regardless, that's not even what I want to get into. What I'm telling you is, it's crazy how the narrative that's being pushed out here is that Jaron ended up sending low ball offers. Show me a time where Brian Norman has made anywhere upwards of $1.5 to $1.6 million. It's pretty simple to go do. Go look through all of his purchases that's available throughout his career. You know what I mean? And you let me know when he's made anything upwards of that. So all of a sudden, he gets upgraded to WBO champion in the welterweight division, and all of a sudden he's worth more than $1.6 million. That's crazy. That's crazy. And can't nobody tell me any different. Can't nobody, make the points necessary to make it seem like Boots is sending a low ball offer. Stop it. So what y'all wanted to be 50-50? Y'all wanted to be 50-50. How many tickets is Brian Norman selling? You know what I'm saying? What's his sales like? What was his gate in his last fight? When has he ever headlined an arena? You know what I'm saying? He from Atlanta, right? I think that's a State Farm Arena where the Atlanta Hawks play at. What did he ever headline over there? How much he sold in his hometown? How many tickets he sell? How much revenue do he generate? Come on, man. That's what. And I hate talking from that aspect, but when we talking about A side, B side shit, if you want to have a 50-50 type situation, you got to have the numbers to back it. That's how the business works. There's no way you're going to come to the table and ask for 50-50 or ask for a significant amount of money if your numbers don't back that. Now, if you're doing $5 million gates and you selling, 800,000, 900,000, 500,000 pay-per-view buys, and it's like, all right, you could probably make a case for why you deserve this much bread. But Brian Norman hasn't done any of that. That nigga is very green in the boxing world. Very green. We just started to get to know who he was after the Centellan fight. Casual fans don't know who the fuck he is. I would have to break down to my people who Brian Norman is because nobody would know him if they didn't watch boxing or wasn't hardcore boxing fans. That's facts. You not tapped in with the people like that. Don't nobody know who you is, bro. So to ask for 2 million plus, that's crazy. That's crazy. Yup, that's exactly what it is, Ralph. And I just said that. It's crazy. Norman turned down a life-changing opportunity to fight on a Keyshawn Davis undercard. Shit is insane. And I predicted it. You know what I'm saying? But I gave him the benefit of the doubt and thought that his opponent would be Teofimo Lopez. It's not even Teofimo Lopez. It's some nigga named Derek Cuevas. What? Never heard a dude in my life, but let's look through the WBO rankings and see if he's actually on there because, he might be on there. He had a pretty decent record. You know what I'm saying? So let's just check to see exactly where this man is at because where the hell did they even find this dude at? Where did they even find this dude, man? Let's look. What month we in right now? We in August, right? Let's check. Yeah, let's check August. Let's check in the welterweight division. Let's search. Let's see what's going on. So the champion right now is Brian Norman Jr., obviously, and Derek Cuevas is ranked number 7 in the WBO. So okay, you fought somebody within your sanctioning body. You feel what I'm saying? You fighting somebody in your sanctioning body. So it's not the worst one. It ain't like Teofimo Lopez where he fought the number 15 guy, the very last guy in the rankings. You feel what I'm saying? But, it's disappointing that you chose to take that route. You know what I'm saying? Agent 007 in Norman's last fight, he only made around $150,000. Well, based off of the information that I gathered from the California State Athletic Commission from their pay sheet, Brian Norman made $100,000. He made $100,000. I see people saying 200,000, but based off of what I seen, like that pay sheet that I found from the California State Athletic Commission, they reported that he made $100,000 for the Santillan fight. That's just what I heard. You feel what I'm saying? That dude Derek was sleeping when he got the call. I mean, congratulations to Cuevas. You know what I'm saying? Because he walked into a great opportunity. You know what I mean? He's gonna fight for the WBO world title. I'm sure that was I'm sure that's one of his dreams. You feel what I'm saying? Now let's look into let's before we get into the Bozy Ennis interview. You know what I'm saying? Let's look into this dude's box rec and see exactly who he is. Let's look at him right now. So he's from Rio Pedras. I was just over there not too long ago. That's funny. But let me check this shit out. So this is his box rec right here, y'all. For those of y'all who don't know who he is, he's 27-1 with one draw, 5'9", so he's a good height for a welterweight. You know, he's ranked number 19 in the world, and ranked number 1 in Puerto Rico in the welterweight division. You know what I mean? From Guaynabo, but lives in Rio Piedras. I believe I said that right. 29 years old. You feel what I'm saying? So let's look through the guys that he's actually fought and who he's lost to, because he's not an undefeated fighter. You feel what I'm saying? So let's take a look right here. You know, just typical stuff, you know, fighting debuts, a couple debuts, that's normal. You know, 0-2, 0-1. Yeah, they definitely spoon feeding him. You know, 3-19 is building his record up. Hold up, wait a minute. This man got a majority draw in his hometown against a 6-10. Red flag. Red flag. Typically, because this dude is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-0. Usually, you know, when you're the hometown guy, let me see. Samuel Santana, where he from? All right, he's from Puerto Rico as well. But right now, he breaking even. That's crazy. 12-12. But regardless, 3-19. Typically, you know, there's some hometown cooking going on when that happens. No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Samuel Santana, 6-10 majority draw. So this was a 6-rounder, and 2 judges had it a draw. So typically what happens is with the politics of boxing, if an undefeated guy gets a draw against a guy with a losing record, that typically means that the guy with the losing record really cooked them. But you know, they got some hometown cooking and didn't want him to walk away with a loss, so they give it a draw. You feel what I'm saying? Boxing 1-on-1, for those of y'all who don't know, that's usually what happens. Just like how typically when, you know, you win a fighter wins a fight, but it gets ruled a no contest, it's usually because they on that shit. You feel what I'm saying? It's usually because they on that shit. So the fact that this man got a majority draw against a 6-10 when he was an undefeated fighter at the time, red flag. Red flag. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to continue moving on. Let me get this advertisement out the way. Let's move up. So yeah, a lot of you know, losing records. You feel what I'm saying? He knocked out a 10-0. You know what I'm saying? Let's check out this 10-0 right here. I actually know this guy. You feel what I'm saying? He's come to Philly multiple times, and he got a good relationship with my pop and shit like that. He's from Camoy. He actually got knocked out by Michelle Rivera a few years back. But I know this guy. He's a pretty rough fighter, but, you know, pretty, you know, one-dimensional. But I'll give him credit for that because he took his O at the end of the day. You feel me? So I'll give him credit for that. That's a solid win. But, you know, he isn't nobody that y'all would know. I only know him because of me just being involved in the boxing world. But he continues to move on. 7-11, 9-21, 5-15, 32-19. And if you see these red dots right here, that's a long day records. That means fights that, you know, that's the result of their last 6 fights. So all these guys that they're fighting, they like on straight losing streaks, 6 in a row. This guy went 4-2. Not, you know, he went 4-2 in his last 6. This one went 2-4 in his last 6. You know, this is what's going on. You know what I'm saying? This is the guy that's gonna get a shot at the WBO title of the world. You know what I'm saying? 13-11, 12-11, 17-16. Look, lost his last 6 right here. At the time, 24-9, 15-4, 37-22. Y'all get what I'm saying, man. Now the records did get a little bit better as he moved up, but I guess at this time, you know, he was already ranked in the WBO. But look where he's taking fights at. You know what I'm saying? Panama City, you know, Atlanta, which has like a, you know, I ain't gonna lie to you, they got a pretty, you know, poor boxing scene. You know what I mean? Fighting in Cancun. You see what I'm saying? So this guy got a blown up record. You know what I mean? Nothing that really catches my attention or anything like that. And that's who, you know, is getting an opportunity for the WBO over Jaron Ennis, man. Only in boxing can this type of shit happen. Glizzy said, well, I feel like you might root for dude. I'm not gonna root for neither one of these dudes, man, because based off of what I see, Cuevas don't really look like he's too deserving of a title shot. In all honesty, I can give a fuck what his boxing ranking is in the WBO. He hasn't fought nobody, and Brian Norman on some duck shit. You feel what I'm saying? He need to go back to the promised land.
You got to come down to the promised land, man. 235 acres. We farming our own chickens, homie. Thousands of chickens, thousands. Running around everywhere, quack, quack, quack. Talk about next level shit, homie.
Yep, he need to take his ass back to the promised land. You feel me? That's just what I think about the whole situation. I could really care less about Brian Norman. You feel me? But yeah, man, that boy showed his true character. He showed his true colors. And I guess Bozy Ennis has had enough of all the shit talk going back and forth, you know what I mean, between Brian Norman Sr. and Eddie Hearn. You know what I mean? He felt the need to express himself. And, I'm surprised that he took the amount of time that he took to actually speak out, because one thing about Bozy that I've learned in the few years that I've known him is he don't take no shit. You see what I'm saying? He definitely don't take no shit. And, when somebody speaks some bullshit, he real quick to, call it what it is, just based off of how I've known him for the past couple years. He keep it 1,000, you feel me? So shout out to Jamil Parker. Hopefully this video, goes pretty smooth on here. He did an interview with Bozy. He dropped it about, 5 hours ago, based off of what I see right here. Let me share the screen for y'all to actually see what Bozy Ennis had to say. If it fucks up, man, y'all can just go check out the interview on your own. My fault. You know what I mean? StreamYard not the most reliable when it comes to, internet connection and shit like that. But let's get into it. Screen for y'all to actually see what Bozy Ennis had to say. If it fucks up, man, y'all can just go check out the interview on your own. My fault. You know what I mean? StreamYard not the most reliable. Shout out to Jamil.
Yeah, what's good, Mr. Bozy?
Same old, man. And then getting my fighters together, get ready, have these fights coming up.
Oh yeah, you got Cool Boy in September 14th.
Then I got Haven, you ready to fight too.
28th. Yeah. Mm-hmm. In other headlines, you've been in with the negotiations with your son and Brian Norman Jr.
Mm-hmm.
At first, things were looking like that it possibly was going to happen. Now, it's reports saying that it's not.
Right.
Is there an update?
All I know is they've been offering him a certain amount of money, and I heard it's good money, more than he ever made. Like I said, he made 100,000 or something for Stanyunian, whatever his name is. Centennial, whatever his name is. And that's all I've been hearing. You know what I mean? I heard they offered him a nice piece of money. He turned that down, and that was it. But he had called me before they even said anything to me about it, and said that yes, they offered me a nice piece of they offered me some money, and the money they offered me wasn't what we was looking for. So we wanted at least $2 million. You know what I mean? Then after that, he was saying, after he said all that stuff, he said, "Don't worry about it. The fight's gonna happen November the 9th. I'll see you November the 9th." And now all this stuff going on. He going around running his mouth, talking Boots ain't this and Boots that. See, I'm trying to be respectful, man, because he's disrespected now. You know what I mean? But he know what Boots done to his son in here. You know what I mean? And I just don't want to be like him, though, but I have to tell the truth. Boots hit him with a body shot and dropped him in here. And then when he first came down, the first time he came down.
Now, one thing I'm going to say, I did hear that. I didn't say it publicly, but I did hear that. You know what I'm saying? So Bozy saying that confirms what I heard from other people. So, I haven't heard Brian Norman, he been pretty vocal. He been speaking out when motherfuckers been supposedly capping. Bozy says something and there's absolute crickets. I find that very interesting.
Down. Because we was under the same contract with Cameron Duncan. You know what I mean? He was the manager. And I told Cameron I need some sparring for Boots. So Cameron says, oh, yeah, I got a couple guys. Brian Norman. I said, yeah, Brian Norman. He's pretty good fighter, man. And plus he can punch. I said, yeah, send him down. But his camera said, well, I told him don't go down there and act crazy or something like that. I said, you ain't got to tell him that. Don't worry about that, right? So when he came down here, and I told his father, you know what I mean, that I need 4 from Bryant, 4 from this guy, 4 from that guy, 12 rounds. But Bryant's father going to say, oh, we do whatever.
Crazy.
You know what I mean?
Hold on, real quick. He said 4. So Boots is doing 4 rounds with 3 different people. So that's 12 rounds, right? But they're doing 4-minute rounds. Bozy is infamous in Philly for doing 4-minute rounds, not 3-minute rounds. So Boots is boxing 48 minutes every sparring session. You know what I'm saying? So that's literally 16 rounds. He's sparring 16 rounds, getting ready for world title fights. That's exactly why that nigga don't get tired, bro. 48 minutes, 16 times 3, that's 48 minutes. He's sparring 16 rounds 3 times a week. It's crazy.
Like that. I said, okay. You know what I mean? Got in there. You know what I mean? Boots broke him down after 3 rounds. And I made Boots fight inside with him, his own game, and backed him up. You know what I mean? Since he's his father running his mouth, man, I'm trying to be respectful, man. But I'm tired of him running his mouth. You know what I mean? And he told me he wanted to make the fight. Make the fight. Stop running your mouth, man. Ain't nobody ducking. They offer you more money than you ever want to see.
Now he hit you up first and said that it wasn't enough money.
Yeah.
But then they I guess they kept offering more
money.
And then afterwards he said that.
Yeah. He said, but he texted me. I got the text. See, and I got the text when after Boots sparred him that time. You know what I mean? He sent me a text and I got that text. So tell him, don't let me put that text out. You know what I mean? I got that text when he said, man, listen, your son whooped my son ass, man. He said, but we were sparring Crawford, Bud Crawford. My son had him knocked out on his feet.
Woo.
You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? I don't even.
I never heard Brian Norman Sr. say that. But the fact that Bozy just exposed that lets me know that Brian Norman be talking shit about other fighters behind the scenes. I never heard him say, I don't know, y'all could correct me, but I never heard Brian Norman say that Norman had Crawford knocked out on his feet when they sparred. Never heard that. That's interesting. Bozy might have just exposed some shit. I don't know. Y'all let me know.
Expose stuff like that. I don't like talking like that, but he's running his mouth like his son a killer. His son can fight. He's a good fighter. No disrespect. But I think he's trying to live through his son.
Woo-wee! Yo, don't I be saying this shit all the time, bro? Don't I be saying this shit all the time, how these parents be living through their kids, bro? This shit needs to be studied, my nigga. This shit needs to be studied how, and shout out to Bozy for not being like that with his kid, because he could easily take that approach as well. But that shit needs to be studied, man. Why is it that these parents that wasn't shit as fighters or parents who never even fucking boxed before be trying to live through their kids, man? They want to be their kids so bad because they was never shit. They probably had a deep desire to be fighters. They turned out to be nothing. So what happens is they build their kids up to be somebody, which is a great thing from a parent standpoint. That's a great thing. However, in the whole process of them coming up and, possibly becoming stars in the sport, even becoming stars in the sport, they live through their kids, bro. Instead of just being in their own lane and living their own life and establishing their own name, they literally just be leeching off of their kids, bro. They want to share the spotlight with their kids. Like, they want to be in every interview their kids is in, and, they want to be all up in their post-fight ring interviews. And, bro, that you can't make this shit up, man. They talk more than they kids do. They be talk like Edgar Berlanga dad. Did you hear Edgar Berlanga dad at the press conference? We're gonna knock you the fuck out. We gonna knock you the fuck. Who's we, nigga? Who's we? The fuck is you talking about? Is Canelo and your son gonna be in the ring at the end of the day? You ain't throwing no punches, dickhead. So who is we? But anyways, I swear to God, that's one of my biggest pet peeves in boxing. I even see it with kids at the boxing gym, and they don't even got no fights or nothing, but they dads be be watching them hit the bag, and they, my son, man. I'm trying to tell you, my son, he's special, man. I'm telling you, whole time, young boy ass, or like young boy like nowhere near ready to compete. I ain't gonna say young boy ass. I don't like talking about kids like that. I got a kid, but what I'm saying is they nowhere as good as they parents perceive them to be or portray them to be. You feel what I'm saying? That shit really needs to be studied, man. I'm about to bring a motherfucking psychologist up here and get them to break that whole situation down. What does that mean? Where does that come from?
But you were under the impression after your conversation with him that there was going to be a deal.
Well, he already told me, he said, don't worry about all this stuff that's going on. I'll see you November 9th, and I can show you that.
Shout out to YSF. Shout out to Jamil Parker, man. Yo, Bozy is absolutely hilarious to me, man. He one of them type dudes that he be dead ass and he still could get a kick out of a motherfucker. You know what I mean? He got that serious type of comedy with him. You feel me? And he not even trying to be funny. That's what make it even more hilarious. So shout out to the man Bozy, man, for finally coming out and exposing the fraud that is Brian Norman Sr. You know what I'm saying? Boots, he never hurt my son. Boots never hurt my son. Whole time Bozy like, yo, we dropped you with a body shot in sparring. What's going on now? Absolute crickets. I don't know if Brian Norman, and that's probably why Brian Norman kept talking to Bozy behind the scenes and trying to stay on his good side in hopes that, Bozy don't say nothing or, Bozy don't speak out to the media and shit like that. But now Bozy feeling disrespected. So all that shit is about to come to the light. You feel me? So, man, listen, man, we got 25 people in the building with 17 likes. Let's get the likes up if y'all appreciate the content, if y'all appreciate the conversations. You feel what I'm saying? Boxing Film said it's all about the money. I guess. But, for them, I don't know if it was all about the money. I think it was about the location, and I think it was about the risk that they was going up against. You know what I'm saying? I think they want to extend their little 15 minutes of fame that they got now that they got a world title. You know what I mean? They don't want to be on some Charles Martin shit where they hold the belt for a couple months and then they got to give it up. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I think it is more than anything, because they said they would accept that same offer if it was in a different location. So that just goes to show you that, they don't really like the idea of being in Boots' hometown for some reason. I don't know. He said, I ain't no Rudy Poo ass nigga. Every time I saw you, I pulled up on you. But somehow, you don't want to pull up to the Wells Fargo and fight him for a career high payday, but you're going to go fight in Norfolk, Virginia on Keyshawn Davis's undercard for 6 figures at the most. Who packed who up? What are you talking about? Wait, I did? How the fuck? I didn't delete shit. Hold up. I didn't do that. How the fuck I do that? I unhit him. I didn't mean to do that. I didn't do it on the stream yard. Yeah, he unhit it now. Yeah, yo, Boxer Film, my apologies, bro. I ain't mean to do that. Yeah, there's no way I did that. Appreciate y'all letting me know. Shit, I ain't mean to do that. I hit him by accident. My fault, man. You know what I mean? As a matter of fact, we're gonna fix that right now. Get that boy Boxer Film a wrench. You feel me? Boxer Film been around long enough. You know what I mean? But with great power comes great responsibility, my brother. So, you know what I mean? Use that wrench carefully, because I do take the motherfuckers away as quick as I, give them out. But I ain't mean to do that, yo. I ain't that type nigga. Nazi Spiller said, what's crazy is imagining Brian Norman Jr. beating on Crawford. That shit not happening, bro. That shit not happening. I don't believe that shit at all. I'm keeping it 1,000 with you. I don't think he was cooking Terrence Crawford. He probably hit Terrence Crawford with some good shots and shit, especially when they was working on the inside. Yeah, I mean, they probably got into a little firefight. You know, he probably had some moments where he hit, where he hit him, and little shit like that. But nah, not at all. I don't believe that shit at all. You feel me? So that's just what it is. I call cap. I'll call cap. Has Brian Norman ever said that Norman had Crawford out on his feet? Has he ever said that publicly? Or did Bozy expose that? Because I never heard that. I felt like I would have been heard that. So am I tripping? Am I tripping or what? Coffee Plant says, Mark, you think Crawford's still dangerous? What type of question is that, Coffee? What type of question is that? Hell yeah, he's still dangerous. Hell yeah. Bud is the man. Bud, you could make a case that he's still pound for pound number one. You still make a case for him being pound for pound number one. Him and Usyk. You know what I mean? To me, I got Usyk number one right now based off of what he did with Fury. And, just him becoming, two-time undisputed and one of them being a heavyweight, him being a naturally smaller man and beating these naturally bigger guys. I got Usyk number one. But it's like I got Usyk number one. And then, like, to me, honestly, like, Bud is, like, 1A. Like, I don't even want to put him number two for real. Just how long he just been reigning as champion and how he's been dominating and 4 divisions, bro. You got to respect that shit, bro. That shit not easy to do, man. Teach said, can you believe this shit? People saying Eddie should pay an extra $500K or Boots should take a pay cut. How do we know that Boots already didn't take a pay cut with, every time he increased Norman's pay? How do we know that he didn't already do that? I love how people make assumptions and really don't know what's going on behind the scenes. You know what I mean? But, that's people who, who don't put their money up. You know what I mean? These niggas not their own bosses. They don't know what it's like to, gamble on a fight and put up a couple million in hopes that you get your return on investment. You feel what I'm saying? So these are people that, have no experience in doing business in the sport of boxing. And like I said, these promoters are not in the business to lose money. Eddie Hearn not in here to lose money. You feel what I'm saying? So you mean to tell me that, he's already given Brian Norman a substantial amount of money. I love the fact that people are ignoring that. Eddie Hearn and them is literally paying Brian Norman 16 times, not 5 times more, not 6 times more, not 10 times more, 16 times more. 16 times more than what he's ever made in his career. Somehow, some way, that's a low ball. I ain't gonna lie to you. If I made $100,000 in my last fight, and then my next fight, they give me 1.6, I'm taking that. I'm taking that. Got me fucked up. I've never seen that type of money in my life. $100,000 is good. But shit, 1.6, and I could possibly come home with 900,000. Shit, 900,000, 1 mil, probably. I mean, tripping. I'm taking that. That's life-changing bread. And for what I understand, them Normans don't come from bread. Yeah, bro. Bro, him being 23 is okay. Him being 23, bro. First of all, there ain't no guarantees in this boxing shit. Norman could get sparked by Cuevas. He, God forbid, he might not, his career might not last that long. Shit happens. Injuries happen. Dmitry Pirog was somebody who looked like he had a bright future. He had a career-ending injury. He had to hang it up. Anything could happen. So I'm not about to sit here and act like, these opportunities are going to, come in abundance. We don't know that. You feel what I'm saying? So he said, Glizzy said, I wish I had 100K. Shit, me too. But regardless, what I'm trying to say is, there's no guarantee. And with Brian Norman being so young, he could bounce back from that. And like I said in my previous video that I put out earlier today, nowadays in boxing, losers are rewarded with more title shots. Look at everybody that lost and then got an opportunity. Artem Harutyunyan lost to Frank Martin, got a WBC title shot. Fucking Sebastian Fundora got put to sleep, got a world title shot against Tim Tszyu. Who else? David Evanesian. He got put to sleep by Bud when he went for the WBO. Then he went and fought for the IBF. Like these dudes are losing and are still getting opportunities. There's so many different, people that get pretty much rewarded for losing or at least taking a chance. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, if you lose the boost, it's not the end of the world. You might get a lot of credit for actually fighting Jaron Ennis at the age that you fought him at. And, that might put you in position to get in some bigger fights. You know what I'm saying? Karen lost the boost last year. And right now, he's the IBF mandatory after fighting 2 nobodies. Boxers get rewarded for losing nowadays, bro. Trying to tell you. It's like the motherfuckers who constantly winning, they have the hardest time with getting fights, getting the big, meaningful fights. Meanwhile, the niggas who's constantly losing keep getting put in position. George Kambosos keep getting put in position. He lost to Haney back-to-back. Got a gift against Maxie Hughes, fights Lomachenko. About to fight William Cepeda, according to the news. Boxing Film says, what if Karen got better? I mean, that's possible. That's possible. But a lot of people don't even take into consideration the fight happened last year. How much better are you going to get? This was in 2023 they fought, early 2023. How much better can you get? Come on, man. I mean, he could be more familiar with boots and probably take a different approach. But come on, man. Come on. Stop it. Yeah, I know. I'm aware that they fought. I watched that whole fight. Rouse says, I doubt it. It would have been competitive, but imagine if Norman would have made the fight competitive, how he would have got so much credit from the boxing public. Yeah, because the boxing public see how hard it is for Boots to get fights. So if you take on the opportunity at just 23 years old to fight Jaron Ennis and you make it a competitive fight or you at least put on a good effort, you're going to get a lot of respect amongst the boxing fans. People are going to want to keep seeing you. That's what's overlooked about the sport of boxing. Everybody, and this is probably because of Floyd and shit, that, you only respect it if you undefeated. Nah, bro. Not at all. If you put on a valiant effort and you keep giving guys if you keep giving the fans the big fights and you put it all on the line each time you fight, you're going to get a lot of respect, man. And I give this dude a lot of credit for that. Gabe Rosado wasn't no world champion. He wasn't the most sensational fighter, but what he constantly did was take on challenge after challenge after challenge, then went up against dogs. And sometimes he came out successful. I think Gabe Rosado got robbed a lot. But one thing Gabe Rosado did was constantly fight the best and give it his all every time he fought. And the nigga had over 10 losses, but the fans loved him, bro. The fans loved him. You know what I'm saying? So, is the undefeated record cool? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But, the people that really get respected in the sport is the motherfuckers who take chances. Bernard Hopkins took chances. Sean Porter took chances. You feel what I'm saying? He said Gabe Rosado was a true people's champ. That's a fact. Sammy Gant said, "Run more." Yeah. I can't see that dude Karen or Kareem, whatever the fuck his name is, doing any better than what he did in the first fight. He tried to box Boots. That shit ain't work. Mark, I know you like Danny Garcia. Who told you that, Najee? It's like, no, I'm just fucking around. I don't dislike Danny Garcia. I'll say that. You said, how do you think he lines up with Erislandy Lara? I think Erislandy Lara defeats Danny Garcia, man. I think he's the, and I see why Danny Garcia want to fight him because, he's not the, he's older now. He ain't doing all that moving around no more. He's more of a stationary target. And with Danny being a natural counter puncher and, him being a flat-footed fighter himself, you know, it gives him more opportunities to land that kill shot on Erislandy Lara. You feel what I'm saying? You said I mentioned it before. I don't know if I exactly said that I like Danny Garcia. What I'm gonna say is he's always been a nice guy. He's a cool dude. You know what I'm saying? He's a cool dude. I'll just say that he's a cool dude. I ain't the biggest fan though. We definitely ain't gonna say that. You know what I'm saying? He said Danny low key a goofy. That's crazy. Danny can't rap. I tell you that. No, but for real though, you know, that'll give him more opportunities to land that kill shot, Erislandy Lara, because you know Erislandy Lara ain't doing all that moving around no more. He planting his feet and you know he's sniping niggas with that left hand. You feel what I'm saying? Have I ever had a conversation with him? Yeah, I have. I spoke to Danny multiple times. Cool dude. But but I just think Erislandy Lara, you know, the more skilled fighter. You know what I mean? I think he might use his legs in this one against Danny, man. He might resort to using his legs again. I think he's gonna give Danny a boxing lesson, bro. I think he the more intelligent fighter, the more skilled fighter all around. I think he gonna outbox him. And if Danny don't move his fucking head out the way and get hit with that left hand, that might be a bad John. But Erislandy Lara can't get too greedy neither because Danny could punch. You feel what I'm saying? I know people that sparred Danny. They talk about how Danny punches feel like cement. You know what I'm saying? They say he got bricks in his hands. So that nigga literally broke Keith Thurman's elbow from what I understand. So you know what I mean? And Danny, you know, another thing that I'm noticing about Danny that's kind of concerning, and I hate when fighters, you know, bring this up, you know, talking about the idea of retirement. You know what I'm saying? Like Danny don't want to do this, you know, too much longer. You know, and from what I heard from people that have been around Danny, you know, Danny probably only want to do like 1 or 2 more fights, and he good. He said he done. You feel me? So once you start to think about retirement and all that shit, you know, that's when, you know, your effort at the gym might not be as much, and you know, boxing is not the thing you solely focused on. Once you start thinking about retirement, you might start thinking more about your businesses and, you know, your family and all that shit. It don't seem like, you know, boxing is the main priority. And usually when you put boxing on the back burner while you got a fight going on, you're putting yourself in a fucked up situation. You know what I'm saying? It was like when the fuck is his name? Not Carl Froch. The one that Jamel Herring knocked out. Damn. I think they called him like the Jackal or some shit. Carl Frampton. Carl Frampton was literally talking about, you know, retiring, and, you know, he was thinking about retirement and all this other shit. And Jamel Herring was like, yo, bro, he already talking about retirement, man. He already got one. That to me, it looks like he got 1 foot out the door. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, that's how I look at it. Once you get to start talking about retirement, Wilder brought it up before the Zhang fight. Yeah, I might retire. If I lose this one, I might retire. When people bring that up and put that energy out in the air, that's a red flag for me. You feel me? So, yeah. You said Danny could win. I mean, he can. You know, if he land, you know, I don't know. I got to see what Danny going to come out. You know what I'm saying? We got to see what Danny come out. Because Danny could play the counterpuncher role, or he could be like the, you know, the outboxer, the volume puncher like he was against Jose Benavidez. But I don't think the outboxer shit is going to work with Erislandy Lara, strictly because I believe Erislandy Lara is the superior boxer. I don't think he can outbox Erislandy Lara. So what is that going to lead to? I think that's going to lead to him playing the counterpuncher role. And I think that Erislandy Lara going to have a field day with that. Let me see something. Said Danny don't show love to his city. Hey, man. It is what it is. You can't make nobody fuck with niggas. You know what I'm saying? He got his own boxing gym. He got his own businesses. He got his own promotional company now. I mean, that's what he focused on. He ain't worried about the city. He ain't worried about the other boxing gyms. You feel me? PYP Boxer said, I talked with Jay Santos 2 weeks ago. They said they will see a different Lara. Well, probably what they mean by a different Lara is the old Lara. Where he showcased a movement and, you know, all that good shit. That's going to beat Danny every time. If Keith Thurman can outbox Danny, shit. There's Landy Lara, one of the best boxers, like skill-wise, one of the best outboxers in the past decade, in my opinion. And Landy Lara is a great counterpuncher as well. So I think Danny fucked all around the board. Pause. The only thing that'll help Danny is if Lara just get old overnight. You already know he in his 40s. You feel me? So that might be the only thing that helps him. We got to take into question if Danny power translate to 54. Danny hasn't even fought a full-fledged 154-pounder. Yeah, he fought at 154 one time, and it was Jose Benavidez, who came from 140, who fought as low as 140. You feel what I mean? So we'll see. We'll see. Danny a walking tank. Shit. Jose Benavidez is just a big motherfucker though. Like Danny not really small. You know what I'm saying? Danny probably like an inch shorter than me, like 5'8", but he got a big frame. Like he don't got big legs, but he got a big frame. So that's where his power comes from. You know what I mean? So he'll be all right. He'll be all right at 54, but this at a catch weight of like 157 from what I believe. So it's gonna be interesting to see how that shit go. But all right, y'all, I'm gonna get up out of here, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go give me some rest. I appreciate everybody that came through. You said Lara last 5 fights have been 4 stoppages. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like he been hitting niggas with that kill shot, man. He just been lining people up with the left hand, and whatever he touched, it been going out. You feel me? Yeah, Jose Benavidez is definitely, he definitely overrated. He definitely overrated. But I'm going to get up out of here, man. Shout out to the nation and the mob for coming through and showing love, man. Y'all hit the like button as soon as y'all come in. You know what I mean? If y'all appreciate the Boxing Talk, hit the subscribe button. Let the people know that Mazuma TV is in the building, and we bringing you quality boxing talk each and every time, man. I'll be back at y'all with another video and another live tomorrow as well. Probably not go live tomorrow, but I'll be out with a video, tomorrow. So be on the lookout for that one. We're going to keep this boxing shit rolling. We're going to keep the boxing culture moving forward. You know what I mean? And shout out to the nation and the mob for making this possible. So I'm going to get up out of here. Y'all have a blessed, beautiful night. I'm out of here, man. Peace.